So, if we've just spoken about your root chakra, your physical body, and how you're taking care of your health and your finances, the eighth card, the abdominal chakra, is referring to creation, sexuality, and how you're integrating things into your life. I would say that there is a lack of integration only due to a mental block. This is the card of mental stalemates. This is the card of immovable force meets unstoppable, or unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Something that Leslie pointed out to me, though, with this card is that if a compromise can't be reached, eventually both swords will break and you'll end up breaking even. It is the second card of the sword, so anything that you lose from this break even won't set you back too far, but it's also very silly. Instead of, butting heads with, your intuition, it's almost as if, taking account the whole spread, it's almost as if your inner self and your inner knowing are at odds with your rational brain. So, inside of your heart, it's keeping you going. You know what you need to do. You know that everything's okay, and you know that you're able to. But the mental mind, is so wrapped up in these what ifs and these, but this happened last time, or if I failed in this, remember, even if you do break even or reach a stalemate, or even if both of these swords do break, you're not going to go back to this. It's just back to, Ace of Swords. You've been given the opportunity to integrate a whole new way of thinking into your life. Your spiritual self has caught up. Your physical self has caught up. Your emotional self, I don't know. I'm not sure about your emotional self. But basically, your physical self and your spiritual self have reached a consensus. And now, okay, right. Physicality and spirituality, those parts of yourself have reached a consensus and they have reached the compromise. Now it seems that the compromise has more to do with your rational mind, your mental mind, and your emotional side. So understanding that your thoughts create your emotions and your emotions are what's driving things. I would say take a fake it till you make it mentality. Every time you hear yourself with the negative self-talk, take stock. Take stock of everything that you have. These resources are undeniable. It's not equivocal. Everything that you have achieved, you have, and it's yours. Be proud of yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Stop punishing yourself. Don't let this negative self-talk, these intrusive thoughts, these anxieties, infect your emotional self. You need to learn how to integrate them. Because thoughts are things, and thoughts create your reality. As I said before, don't take that as a dogma. Like, don't take that as me saying, if you don't figure out how to start being happy, then everything will be taken away. Because it won't be. Because as we recall, the gods are making sure that everything that you have is firmly rooted. So it can't just be taken away just like that. The only danger of loss would be loss of satisfaction. The only loss that you would have would be a personal loss of, not being able to be happy with what you have. Which brings us to the next card, how you're using your personal power, what kind of power you're currently exuding. The Four of Cups, right? This is the card of ennui. This is the card of the grass is always greener on the other side. This is the card of, not noticing this beautiful garden all around you and not noticing all the gifts, You have to integrate your mental and emotional self. Because right now, it's causing you wilt. The flowers in this garden that the gods have given you will not die, but they are wilting, and they are not doing as good as they would. You are the seed in this garden. How can you expect to flourish if you're not watering yourself? If you're not happy? If you can't take stock of all of these blessings? If you feel bored? And so it's not allowing you to effectively wield the power given by the chariot. And until you're able to integrate the mental and the emotional, this chariot is just going to be paddling around in the same puddle. It's never going to be able to make the jump into the wider ocean. Now, again, on a physical level, that's fine, because you have everything that you need physically in this puddle. You've got enough food to eat, you've got enough money, you're able to meet all of your needs and more. But the current puddle isn't exciting, you know. You need to take stock of what you have, remember, with the Page of Pentacles, and then perhaps engineer mentally some kind of mechanism. You have to engineer using tools, using your emotional tools and using your mental tools. Thoughts are things. Create a tulpa, create a servitor. Yeah, I would say that a good way around this would be to create a literal servitor to, keep negative thoughts in check. Because that's really the only thing holding you back. And so far as your heart chakra, how you're expressing love, what needs to be healed, and issues of forgiveness, and the Death card. A lot of the things that led you to the Five of Pentacles had to do with family patterns, family values, repeated mistakes, things that it almost seems like you're fated or you're doomed to repeat. I would say literally, cut all of that off like a cancer. Cut this off like a cancer. Because not only does this person think that it will be better somewhere else and that it's not that great here, she's also afraid to go here because this is all she's ever known. If all you've ever known is defeatism, self-talk, and negative self-talk, and personal failures in love, and with family, and how you're relating to other people, and how you're relating to yourself, how can you ever expect to do something new?